Hey everybody, Deathblade here with another Chinese fantasy novel FAQ video. Okay, I'm in San Diego, and San Diego has pretty good weather, but man, it is really hot right now, and our apartment does not have air conditioning, so got a fan here, I have the door open. I still feel like I'm dripping with sweat, but I'm gonna do my best to endure through this video until I can get some more doors open for some cross ventilation. Anyway, today I'm talking about an expression which you have definitely seen if you've read any Chinese fantasy novels. Usually it's translated as courting death. I'm gonna get into an explanation of what the term is like in Chinese, why I think that courting death is not really a good translation for the term, usually, and then I'm gonna get into some of the ways that I translate it. Before I start the video, if you'd like to support me, please check out the video description. I have links there to an Amazon storefront where I have recommendations for Chinese fantasy novels and translations and movies, and I also have t-shirts available and other stuff like that, so go ahead and check out that link. Also, you can like and subscribe and share. I'm really trying to get my subscriber count up to 10,000 so I can link my t-shirts into the actual video description. But that's a long way away, so please do like and subscribe. Okay, so getting into this expression, courting death. In Chinese, the expression is jiao si, and it is literally, the courting death is basically a direct translation of the term. Jiao means to look for or to seek, and si means death or to die. So literally the expression means to court death or to seek death. That said, I don't think that courting death is a very good way to translate the term. Now, if you look up the term on Baidu, which is like the Chinese Google, there is a dictionary entry, and the English courting death is actually listed there as a translation for the term. I don't agree that that's a good translation for it. Now, let me get into the reasons why. It's a very common expression in Chinese. Like, you will hear it on TV, you'll hear it in real life. Madam Deathblade, my wife, will use this on me when we're arguing, and I'll use it on her. When I was teaching in China, I heard young kids as old as, 7, 8, or 9, in the classroom on break, getting in little arguments amongst themselves. I heard them use it. It's a little bit rude, and I think that most parents probably wouldn't want their kids using this term. Definitely not when speaking back to a parent, probably not amongst themselves if the parents aren't in earshot. So in some ways, I think it's kind of like the term go to hell in English. The reason why I don't think that courting death is a good translation for it is because it's just too common of an expression in Chinese, and it usually doesn't actually mean courting death. It's similar to how when people say go to hell to each other, they aren't usually saying like literally, I hope that you travel to a subterranean or mythological place of endless torment and suffering. Like, it's mostly just a way to curse another person. It's the same with this courting death, jiao si. It's just something people will say when they're in an argument or a face-off of some kind, and it essentially just means you are doing something which will be to your detriment. It's essentially what it means. Now, of course, in Chinese fantasy novels, the phrase is often tossed around in situations where people are fighting and trying to kill each other. So it does ratchet up the direct literal meaning of the phrase, because literally these people are to some extent courting death in that they might die because of a result of their actions. But the expression is just so common that I think that a lot of times it doesn't need to be translated so literally. Also, the actual term court death is just really not conversational. In Chinese, this expression jiao si is really conversational. It comes across sounding very natural, but courting death does not come across sounding natural, at least to my ears as a native English speaker. Never in a bar fight are two guys going to be standing there and then one of them says, "You are courting death." Like, what is this, Shakespeare or something? No. So that's why I feel that alternative translations are better. I use a variety of them. For example, sometimes I might say, "Are you looking to die?" That comes across as something I might see in a movie, sort of like a Dirty Harry style, like, "Are you looking to die, punk?" or something like that. Or maybe, "Are you feeling suicidal? Trying to get yourself killed?" Something like that. And one of the reasons why I thought to do a video on this term is because I saw some discussion about this in a Facebook group where somebody was saying that this was one of the cliches of Chinese fantasy novels that they don't like. And I think that you readers should really keep in mind that although it gets used a lot and although it is often seen in situations where people are fighting and they're kind of saying like, you know, you are going to die. It's such a common expression in Chinese that it shouldn't be taken so literally every single time. Just like you might hear go to hell thrown around in English all the time, and again, it doesn't mean literally go to hell. That said, if you were watching a Western fantasy story that had heaven and hell, and then people could actually go to hell, sort of like in my current translation project, Sage Monarch, there actually is a kind of heaven and hell dichotomy, and the characters can actually go to hell or hells. So in that case, go to hell can take on an additional and more literal meaning. That said, when you see it thrown around all the time, it's not necessarily something where the person is literally telling them that they're going to die. So this is kind of a short video. Courting death is something that comes up a lot, and I hope that this has given you a little bit of a background and insight into the term and how it's used in Chinese. So I'm gonna cut the video off at that. Please do like and subscribe. Check out the links in the description below, and I'll see you in the next video. God's love.